Tassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arhato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arhato Samma Sambuddhassa Sadhu Sadhu. So today the sutta which I am going to read is a kind of a very unique sutta because Buddha generally does not compare his teaching with other doctrines, or he does not mention something against, like he does not argue. That is also a big part of Buddha's teaching, is that you don't argue. In Majjhima Nikaya 18, the Buddha says that the way the Buddha is teaching is without any conflict to any other religion or ascetics or points of view. But the Buddha is over here pointing out a doctrine or the point of views which are leads to you are not making efforts, and that can lead to harm. So this sutta is from Anguttara Nikaya, book of 3, sutta number 61. The link I am sharing because this is the book Bhikkhupadi translation, which is available on Sutta Central. So you can read along with me. So this is named sectarian because sectarian means they are from other sects, where the Buddha is talking about the other points of view or concepts, because those are basically concepts, and those concepts are there in the present time also. In one way or the other, you may find these concepts in some other name or philosophy or something like that, and those concepts are prevalent. Students, there are these 3 sectarian tenets which, when questioned, interrogated, and cross-examined by the wise and taken to their conclusion means you logically follow it to the logical conclusion of that concept, will eventuate in non-doing. What are the 3? Eventuate in non-doing means then what happens is, when you take these philosophies or concepts into the extreme, then the personal volitional action which is there would not be there, because the incentive to do the action goes away when you believe those philosophy. There are, students, some ascetics and Brahmins who hold such a doctrine and view as this: whatever this person experiences, whether pleasure, pain, or neither pain nor pleasure, all that is caused by what was done in the past. So, whatever one experiences has happened from the past. That means everything is the karmic result. So even if you stub a toe, something must have happened in the past. You must have hit somebody's toe, and now your toe got tubbed. And then if you get ill, then in the past you must have done something and you have got ill. But we had taken one sutta where the Buddha is explaining the different reasons why a person can get ill. Like a person can get ill through the imbalance of, say, the phlegm or cough or air, or the imbalance of those 3 things. He can get ill because of not paying attention. Like when you overeat, so you are not paying attention to your body. So all these things are responsible for your present pain or suffering. So this philosophy which is saying is, there are whatever feeling you experience, even if it is pleasure, pain, or neither painful nor pleasurable, those have happened through past actions. The second philosophy is, there are other ascetics and Brahmins who hold such a doctrine and view as this: whatever this person experiences, whether pleasure, pain, or neither pain nor pleasure, all that is caused by God's creative activity. God's creative activity means that there is an external entity. Because of that external entity, whatever is happening to you is happening. Say if you are unhappy, you get up in the morning and you are depressed. So that depression is caused by, maybe the gods are unhappy, or there is certain entity outside of you. It may be gods, it may be some supernatural power, or it can be aliens, or whatever you want to put your concept over there. That is the reason why that has happened. That person which is there is feeling or experiencing certain things. Means that there is an external activity. That's a God's creative activity has been kind of mentioned. So if that is the case, then also a person does not have any kind of need for action, because whatever, if he does some good action, say he does dana, he kind of supports certain good causes and gives his time and effort and everything to do something good, and something bad may happen to him, because it is all based on the external factors. So that is the second philosophy. And there are still other ascetics and Brahmins who hold such a doctrine and view as this: whatever this person experiences, whether pleasure, pain, or neither pain nor pleasure, all that occurs without a cause or condition. So in this modern era, many people don't believe in the cause and conditions for human actions. They believe in cause and conditions for any physical action, like in physics, quantum physics, or if you go to theoretical physics, you find that they think that everything is happening, or they kind of prove through mathematics that everything is happening due to cause and effect. They say that this universe, which has expanded for 13.5 billion years, if they had enough calculating kind of capacity, then they can calculate this to the start of the Big Bang. So they do calculations and say that how one thing led to another, led to another, and then everything is cause and effect, which kind of accumulates into what has happened in the present. So we can see the present and then calculate back to the point of Big Bang, when the matter kind of came into existence. One way of explaining it is that finding of gold. So when you are having gold in your planet, like in Earth, everybody knows there is gold. So the gold is not possible at the time of Big Bang, because the elements of gold require certain pressure which is not available at the time of Big Bang. So what happens is that Big Bang happens, and then there are stars which are there. When there are stars which are there, they have a lot of pressure, and that makes a change into their elements. Now this star has a logical end. After, say, some billion years, say 2 or 4 billion or whatever years, it bursts. And out of those elements, there's a second star which is made. Then the elements which was there in the previous comes into the core of the second star. Then the pressure is applied over there in that star, and then that star bursts, and then you have gold. And then the third star which is there in the series of the stars, that star, when the planets are made, that element of gold is available. So they can kind of go back and figure out what are the cause and conditions which are causing the kind of expansion of the universe. So they believe in cause and conditions for the everything which is happening in the universe, but they don't believe in cause and condition for the human actions or human suffering, or the things which happen to human beings. So that is a kind of a contrast between what they believe in cause and condition, but they believe it for the physical things in the modern times. But in the time of the Buddha, they just believed that everything was random. The sun was also random, the stars were also random, and then the earth was random. The water was randomly coming. So it may be water or it may not be water. So those philosophy or the concept which is there is saying that there are no cause and conditions. So everything happens without purpose, or there is no kind of impetus which is required for having certain things come up. So those are the three kind of philosophies. Student, I approach those ascetics and Brahmins who hold such a doctrine and view as this: whatever this person experiences, whether pleasure, pain, nor neither pain nor pleasure, all that is caused by past deeds. And I said to them, is it true that you, venerable ones, hold such a doctrine and view? When I ask them this, they affirm it. Then I say to them, in such a case, is it due to past deeds that you might destroy life? take what is not given, indulge in sexual activities, or misconduct, because he's talking to ascetics. So he's talking about brahmacharya. But when we have the 5 precepts for lay people, it is kamesu michachara, means wrong sexual activity. Speak falsehood, use divisive speech, speak harshly, indulge in idle chatter. This is the right speech or harmonious communication. So this is has 4 aspects. That you might be full of longing, have a mind of ill will. So you have cravings, your mind is full of craving. Have ill will, that your mind is kind of having hatred for others, and hold wrong view. So wrong view is taking things personally. That is, this is me, this is mine, this is myself. That is the wrong view. So those things, when those things which are listed are basically precepts, and the right way of living. That is, a mind of ill will means the opposite of mind of ill will is mind with metta. So Buddha gives advice to Rahula, say, if you have ill will, then you do metta, and if you have cruelty, then you do karuna, so compassion. So in that way, this is a mind which is full of longing, and all those things are also leading to towards the kind of harm and suffering for a person. So basically, it is the precepts. But one thing you have noticed is that in the precepts the Buddha is mentioning, even to ascetics, he is not mentioning the precepts of alcohol, because at the when it is not the time of the Buddha Sasana is not there. Then there are the 4 precepts which are recognized. And the 5th precept is given by the Buddha himself, because Buddha understands the importance of the mind. See, in short, the Buddha's teaching are said to be: you have to do good, dana, you have to keep the precept, that is sila, and bhavana, that is development of the mind. So in every doctrine, you will find these 2 things which are there, is to do good and not to do bad. But to develop the mind, the Buddha, when Buddha is there, that is the time that the Buddha gives that teaching, that concept of you can develop your mind, you can change. Because if you believe that everything is happening from the past, then you cannot change. You believe that everything is happening because of some external entity, you cannot change. If everything is happening randomly, what your action has no causation. So and your action does not have a result also, which are guaranteed. So there is no action. So in that way, those things which are there depend on the kind of the precepts, depend on the volition of our own. So when that volition is taken away, then what he's saying is that when I ask and affirm, they say this is the case. Those who fall back on past deeds as the essential truth have no desire to do what should be done and to avoid doing what should not be done, nor do they make an effort in this respect. So when everything is going to happen due to past actions, then the current action to do, to avoid, and to kind of make an effort is not there. So then that leads to non-doing. Since they do not apprehend as true and valid anything that should be done or should not be done, they are muddle-minded. So they are confused about things which are happening. They do not guard themselves. So they do not take protective actions. And even the personal designation ascetic could not be legitimately applied to them. This was my first legitimate refutation of these ascetics and Brahmins who hold such a doctrine and view. So the Buddha is kind of explaining that how this the whole thing which is there, the concept of everything is happening because of the past, can be refuted. Then, students, I approach the ascetics and Brahmins who hold such a doctrine and view as this: whatever this person experiences, whether pleasure, pain, or neither pain nor pleasure, all that is caused by God creative action. And I said to them, is it true that you venerable ones hold such a doctrine and view? When I ask them this, they affirm it. Then I say to them, in such a case, it is due to God's creative activity that you might destroy life and the whole list of things, or the precepts. Those who fall back on God's creative activity as the essential truth have no desire to do what should be done, to avoid doing what should not be done, nor do they make an effort in this respect, since they do not apprehend as true and valid anything that should be done. What should be done is the precepts which are there, the good actions in the which are there, or desire to and to avoid doing what should not be done, nor do they make an effort in this respect. Since they do not apprehend as true and valid anything that should be done or should not be done, they are muddle-minded. They do not guard themselves. Even the personal designation ascetic could not be legitimately applied to them. This was my second legitimate refutation of this ascetics and Brahmins who hold such a doctrine and view. So he also rejects that everything is external. There is some external entity which is kind of affecting us to do everything. There can be an external entity which may be affecting us, but not everything. Like there may be kind of heat is there. So that heat will affect us. The sun is there, but there is no sun god which is there, which is kind of making that heat to change your actions. So you may not go to a market because of the heat which is there, but you may that is because of the causes and conditions of the current situation. Then you can kind of take corrective action. But if you have that thing that everything is happening because of some god or external entity, then you take it as a sign, it is very hot to go out, so I will not go out. You could kind of change your behavior or not do anything because you are thinking that everything which is happening is from the external. Then the third doctrine. Then students, I approach those ascetics and Brahmins who hold such a doctrine and view as this. Whatever this person experiences, whether pleasure, pain, or neither pain nor pleasure, all that occurs without a cause or condition. And I said to them, is it true that you venerable ones hold such a doctrine and view? When I ask them this, they affirm it. Then I say to them, in such a case, it is without a cause or condition that you might destroy life or take what is not given, have wrong sexual activity, or have wrong speech, or have kind of longing and have ill will and hold wrong views. So all these things you are doing it, you can kind of say that I randomly, I don't know why I stole that thing. I don't know why I spoke harshly, or why I don't know why I said a lie. Because you don't believe that there is a cause and condition for certain things. One interesting part about the Vinaya is that they have a very specific kind of explanation of what is considered to be an action, like stealing, for example. Say if there is a object, that object has to be of value. There is an object of value. There is a desire for you to gain that object of value. With that desire, you do an action. Okay, you can tell somebody, oh, go and pick that up and meet me in the back. So that is an action, or you can just put your hand forward and take that object. So now that action is there. Due to that action, that object kind of is lost by the owner and you gain that object. So in that way, it is very specifically mentioned how is act of stealing can take place. So Buddha is very sure that it starts with an intention, that the intention is that I have to steal that object. And then there is an action taken with that intention. So there is a cause and condition for the action which is happening. That cause is the kind of greed which is there. The intention which comes up is the volition which we have. We can say, no, I don't want that thing. If I had to get it or steal it, I don't require that. I can do without it. One of the sutras in, I think, this was Sutta Nipata. In one of the Sutta Nipatas, the Buddha says that if you do not get kind of food when you are going on arms row, it is better to kind of be hungry then kind of break the precepts. So even if you are to die, don't have any ill will towards anybody, and be kind of with metta for everybody, and you can die of hunger also, but you do not break the precepts. So that is the level of kind of importance of keeping the precepts that Buddha is saying. But if you think that it is everything is random and this action of mind or this thought of mind is random, then you do not understand the cause and conditions. So then he talks about it further. He gives the right way also. Those who fall back on absence of cause and condition as the essential truth have no desire to do what should be done, to avoid doing what should not be done, nor do they make an effort. Sorry, I think this is electricity has gone. Just to pause it, I'll just get a light source. So there is a rain coming over here, so the light has gone. It may come back. I'll have to place back. Since they do not apprehend as true and valid anything that should be done or should not be done, they are muddle-minded. They do not guard themselves. And even the personal designation ascetic could not be legitimately applied to them. This was my third legitimate refutation of those ascetics and Brahmin who hold such a doctrine and view. These students are the three sectarian tenets, which, when questioned, interrogated, and cross-examined by the wise, taken to their conclusion, will eventuate in non-doing. Because when we kind of feel that everything is happening from the past, we don't have any kind of will on the volitional activity which is there possible over here. So when we consider in meditation, it is the 6 hour. When you recognize that your mind is not there on the object of meditation, then what you do is release. So that requires a volition, that I don't want to keep on that thought. I want to release that thought. You bring your attention over here, relax, re-smile, and bring it back to your spiritual friend or the direction which you are doing the meditation on. And then you remain on that object of meditating and repeat when it is needed. So that itself kind of shows that there is a volitional element in our self. So everything which is happening is not happening to the past. But Buddha also says that for the ignorance, when what is the cause and conditions of the ignorance? That is the 5 hindrances. And what is the cause and condition of the 5 hindrances? The 3 kinds of misconduct. That is meaning that when you are breaking the precepts, that is from the body, speech, and mind, you are doing something wrong, then it comes up as hindrances in your meditation. So that means that the hindrances which are there are certain aspects which are there, which is possible to come because of the past. But say if you're not habituated to sitting on the floor, but you sit on the floor and your legs are paining, then that is your action in the present which is causing that pain. It is not because of some breaking of precept in the past or doing something else that is happening. Because of a present action of sitting on the floor when you know that you are not habituated to sit on the floor. Some people kind of sit on the floor very well. They can sit for many hours, no problem. But some people in half an hour or some maybe even 20 minutes, they have very tremendous pain in their knees or the thighs or the back. So those pain which is generated at that point of time has been generated because of your kind of not understanding the situation. If you are not habituated to sitting on the floor, then you can sit on the chair. You sit on the chair, you sit comfortably, you take cushion when a cushion is required, and you kind of mitigate that cause for the pain. And when you take away that cause for the pain, then the pain goes away. And we find that in meditation, many people, when they come, they kind of insist on sitting on the floor because that is what they have seen. In any picture of meditation, they will show somebody on a rock or a ledge or a room with an incense stick, and they are sitting in lotus position. So everybody wants to kind of recreate that position, but the meditation is not because of the physical aspects or the postures or the how you sit, but it is a mental activity where you are seeing what is happening in the present. You are observing how your mind's attention is going from one thing to another. So that aspect is there. So you can recognize in meditation that there are certain things which happens because of the past. The hindrances are coming. There are certain aspects which are happening in the present that you are not paying attention or you are sitting incorrectly. Those are generated in the present. So if there is kind of too much heat is there or too much cold is there, then also it will affect your meditation. You will have discomfort, or it may be comfortable for some people. So all those things are affecting in the present, which has a combination of the past and the present. Then external activity, that is external God or external powers or external nature power, or they have currently there are other philosophies which are there, like magnetic fields are affecting you, or there are certain aliens which are affecting you and controlling you or something like that. So that means that you are giving away your kind of ability of volition to a certain entity which is external from you. That can be God or alien or magnetic field or anything. And then you are kind of saying that I will not be able to do it because I think that the gods are not happy with me, or the aliens are not happy, or the magnetic field is not aligned with me, or something like that. So that then it will lead to your non-action. So you will not have the kind of incentive to do an action. But when you say that there is no cause and effect for anything, then what you do now does not affect what is your future. But the Buddha says that whatever you think and ponder upon frequently will become the inclination of your mind. That means that what you do now will affect your future. So that is the basic of the Buddha's teaching, is that whatever you are doing now will have a effect in the future. It can be positive if you are doing, it will have a positive effect. If you're doing negative, then it will have a negative effect. So the cause and effect is there. If you don't believe in cause and effect, then you are kind of letting go of those kind of impetus or the incentive for action. So now the Buddha is giving what he has taught. But students, this Dhamma taught by me is unrefuted, undefiled, irreproachable, and uncensored by the wise ascetics and Brahmins. So he uses the word wise. So somebody without any understanding also may be kind of opposing Buddha's teaching. But when he says that when you are seeing it with wisdom, it has been unrefuted, undefiled, irreproachable, and uncensored by the wise ascetics and Brahmins. And what is the Dhamma taught by me that is unrefuted, undefiled, irreproachable, and uncensored by wise ascetics and Brahmins? These are 6 elements. This, student, is the Dhamma taught by me. These are the 6 bases of contact. These are 18 mental examinations. These are 4 noble truths. This, students, is the Dhamma taught by me, that is unrefuted, undefiled, irreproachable, uncensored by wise ascetics and Brahmins. So we will go through that. Buddha is also giving the explanation of all these aspects. When it was said, these are the 6 bases of contact. So when it was said, these are the 6 elements, this, student, is the Dhamma taught by me that is unrefuted, uncensored by wise ascetics and Brahmins. For what reason was this said? There are these 6 elements: the earth element, the water element, the fire element, the air element, the space element, and the consciousness element. When it was said, these are the 6 elements, this, student, is the Dhamma taught by me that is unrefuted and uncensored by wise ascetics and Brahmin. It is because of this that this was said. So the 6 elements is kind of disputable. So everybody kind of can, with examination, say that there is earth is there is water is there is fire is there is wind is there is space, and there is consciousness. So all those things, a wise person can kind of examine and say that these are unrefutable. Nobody can say there is no wind, or nobody can say there is no light or something like that, So those are unrefutable aspects. When it was said that there are 6 elements. Next is when it was said there are 6 bases of contact. This student is the Dhamma taught by me that is unrefuted and uncensored by wise ascetics and Brahmins. For what reason was this said? There are these 6 bases of contact. The eye as a base of contact, the ear as a base of contact, the nose as a base of contact, the tongue as a base of contact, the body as a base of contact, the mind as a base of contact. When it was said these are the 6 bases of contact, this student is the Dhamma taught by me that is unrefuted, uncensored by wise ascetics and Brahmins. It is because of this that it was said. So one can examine also that Buddha has also said in some other place that there is no other base of contact you can find other than this 6 bases of contact. Other than eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind. There is no other base of contact which can be found in this world. So when we are examining this, we can know for sure this is true. When it was said there are the 18 mental examinations. So there are 18 mental examinations. So based on this 6, there are 3 examinations which you can do. 6 bases of context are there, and there are 3 examinations which you can do. Having seen a form with the eye, one examines a form that is a basis of joy. One examines a form that is basis of dejection. One examines a form that is a basis of equanimity. So whenever we are seeing, say, pictures or something like that, then it can create joy, it can be pleasant, it can create dejection, that is unpleasant, it can create equanimity, that is neither painful nor pleasurable. So those reactions can be discerned, that can be examined when you are examining whatever you are seeing. In the same way, when you are hearing something, then you can see if it is bringing in joy, dejection, or equanimity. If you are smelling something, then also you can examine that. Then if you are tasting something, you can examine if it is bringing joy, dejection, or equanimity. If you are touching or feeling something, or if you are thinking something. So those things are leading to the examination. So examination is how that if it is creating joy or dejection or equanimity. So one way of looking at it is that whenever we are taking these things as personal, if it is giving joy and we are taking it personally and it changes, then it gives us dejection. Then if we are taking it personally, if it is painful, we are taking it personally, then it will feel painful when we are kind of experiencing it. And when it is not, it goes away, then we will feel joy. The equanimity is that you are seeing it in a correct manner and your mind is not even grasping it or rejecting it. Whatever is there, you are just examining as it is. So these are the 18 bases of examinations which one can indulge or you can do who is a wise person. This student is the Dhamma taught by me that is unrefuted, uncensored by wise ascetics and Brahmins. It is because of this that this was said. When it was said there are 4 noble truths. This student is the Dhamma taught by me that is unrefuted, uncensored by wise ascetics and Brahmin. For what reason was this said? So this explanation of the 4 noble truths is also a kind of a unique experience. So please listen to this like closely, because this is a different explanation, and this is a kind of I think I like this explanation what the Buddha is giving, because in other places he is not going into such detail, but it is over here he is going into detail, and it is kind of really nice to get this perspective also. Independence on the 6 elements, the descent of a future embryo occurs. So now you understand the 6 elements was mentioned in the this list of things. When the descent takes place, there is name and a form. With name and form as condition, there are 6 sense bases. With the 6 sense bases as condition, there is contact. With contact as condition, there is feeling. Now it is for one who feels that I proclaim, this is suffering. And this is the origin of suffering. And this is the cessation of suffering. And this is the way leading to the cessation of suffering. So when one feels, when there is a contact and there is a feeling, then only we can discern suffering. Without that, it is not possible. So we need six elements to have the name and form. Because there is name and form, there are six sense bases. Because of the six sense bases, a contact is possible. Because there is a contact, there is feeling. And when one feels, what one feels is, one feels it is pleasant, one feels it is painful, one feels it is neither painful nor pleasant. So that is the start where one can be explained the suffering. So that is the start. And what student is the noble truth of suffering? Birth is suffering. Old age is suffering. Illness is suffering. Death is suffering. Sorrow, lamentation, pain, dejection, anguish are suffering. Not to get what one wants is suffering. In brief, the five aggregates subject to clinging are suffering. This is called the noble truth of suffering. So now one thing is interesting is that many of the translators in English language, they want to kind of bring in this concept of translating dukkha. Okay. So now Bhikkhuvadi kind of translate dukkha into suffering. But dukkha is a very broad concept. And whatever was mentioned now is all is included in the dukkha. So I'll kind of change suffering to dukkha, and then I'll try and explain to you. And what student is the noble truth of dukkha? Birth is dukkha. Old age is dukkha. Illness is dukkha. Death is dukkha. Sorrow, lamentation, pain, dejection, and anguish are dukkha. Not to get what one wants is dukkha. In brief, the five aggregates subject to clinging are dukkha. This is called the noble truth of dukkha. So dukkha includes everything which was mentioned over here. So from a pinprick to kind of dejection and kind of beating one's breast and becoming distraught is a range which the Buddha is saying is all included in the dukkha. So one word as suffering is something is not kind of encapsulates this concept, because it requires a broader concept. And every, as Bante Vimal Ramsey used to say, that everything which we are saying in language is a concept. Even a full stop is a concept. So the word dukkha is a concept. And that concept requires a depth of understanding. It requires a philosophical depth of understanding to come up with a word as dukkha. And the Indian system has a lot of Buddhas which have been born over here in India, and they have given this concept of the dukkha. And that has remained in the culture. And that has always been there, the concept. So that is a very rich meaning of dukkha. And it is kind of, if you are translating this into any one word, then you are losing certain amount of understanding or certain amount of appreciation for the concept. So I kind of insist on using the word dukkha many times. So this kind of word can encapsulate all what is included in the dukkha. So certain times there is discomfort, like there is no light over here and I'm giving a Zoom talk. So there is a discomfort over here. But when this discomfort is there, I may not be suffering from that discomfort that much, because it's a minor discomfort. Because I don't actually need light for talking. So, but that is also a certain amount of discomfort is there while doing this talk. So that is also included in the dukkha, but I will kind of not use the word suffering. So that means that when you are using this concept of dukkha, the dukkha concept has been clearly defined by the Buddha as birth or old age or illness or death. If there is sorrow, there is lamentation, there is pain, dejection, anguish, all are dukkha. if you are not getting what one wants, is also dukkha. You are getting what one does not want, that is also dukkha. So if you do not want, say, pain, and you get the pain, then and that also creates a dukkha. So 5 aggregates which are there, which is body is there, feeling is there, perception is there, the thoughts are there, the sankharas, and the consciousness. All of these are when it is affected by clinging. Then it creates dukkha. For an arahant, those things are not creating dukkha because there is no clinging in an arahant. So that is the reason the explanation of the is given subject to clinging. So those aggregates, when they are clinged to, then those are called causing dukkha. And what a student is the noble truth of the origin of suffering or the origin of dukkha. With ignorance as condition, volition activities come to be. Volitional activities are sankharas. With volitional activities as condition, consciousness. With consciousness as condition, name and form. With name and form as condition, the 6 sense basis. With the 6 sense basis as condition, contact. With contact as condition, feeling. With feeling as condition, craving. With craving as condition, clinging. With clinging as a condition, habitual tendencies. With habitual tendencies as condition, birth. With birth as condition, old age, death, sorrow, lamentation, pain, dejection, anguish come to be. Such is the origin of this whole mass of suffering. This is called the noble truth of origin of suffering. So over here, the Buddha is giving the dependent origination as the origin of suffering. In the first kind of sutta, the Buddha gives us clinging or craving as the basis of suffering. But over here, the Buddha is giving the whole of the dependent origination cycle, which starts with ignorance. So that is also an important kind of distinction in this sutta, where the Buddha is kind of clearly linking dependent origination with the 4 noble truths. Bante, when you have this charts which is being prepared by Sister Khema, you will see that in ignorance there are 3 things given. There is 4 noble truths, dependent origination, and the 3 characteristics, because all are intertwined. When we are talking about the dependent origination, we are also talking about the 3 characteristics also. Because when we are saying that there is ignorance, then that means that it cannot be atta. So it is impersonal. Then it is dukkha. It cannot give sukha. So that is also an aspect which is there. And this is also impermanent because it comes and it can go. So those aspects which are there is explained in the concept of dependent origination. There are 3 characteristics are included. Then what is included is the 4 noble truths also, because each of the link can be explained in the 4 noble truths. There is ignorance. There is a cause for the ignorance. There is a cessation of ignorance, and there is a way leading to the cessation of ignorance. So the 4 noble truths are also part of the dependent origination. So this is a complete holistic 360-degree kind of teaching the Buddha is giving over here. Then, and what student is the noble truth of the cessation of suffering? With the reminderless fading away and cessation of ignorance comes cessation of volitional activities or sankhara or thoughts also we can say. With the cessation of volition activities, cessation of consciousness. With the cessation of consciousness, cessation of name and form. With the cessation of name and form, cessation of 6 sense bases. With the cessation of 6 sense bases, cessation of contact. With the cessation of contact, cessation of feeling. With the cessation of feeling, cessation of craving. With the cessation of craving, cessation of clinging. With the cessation of clinging, cessation of habitual tendencies. With the cessation of habitual tendencies, cessation of birth. With the cessation of birth, old age, death, sorrow, lamentation, pain, dejection, anguish cease. Such is the cessation of this whole mass of suffering. This is called the noble truth of cessation of suffering. So, in the origination and the kind of cessation, both are the cycles of dependent origination. So both can be a kind of gained by understanding how the minds works. So how the minds work is the working of the dependent origination. That is the reason what the Bhante Vimalamsi teaching is very important, because when we are doing the meditation, we are finding out how the mind's attention is going from one thing to another. Bhante says that that is the basis of the mindfulness, not why it is coming up, but how it is going. So you are understanding what happened before this happened, what happened before that happened. So when you are first recognizing, it happens after the death of the action, that your thought has gone to another thought. It has kind of gone through two, three levels of thoughts, and then you recognize. Then as you grow in your observation, then you will recognize when your thought is just moving, when there is a birth of action is there. That time you will catch it. Then you will find out when there is a habitual tendency which is happening. Then you will find out when there is clinging is there. There is a oscillation which happens before your mind moves away to the distraction. That when that mind is oscillating, then you will find out. Then when the craving is there, when there is a pain and there is a tightness which comes up with craving, that time itself you will recognize and let it go. And when you go advanced, you can let it go when the feeling arises, or even you can see before the at contact also. This will happen when you are in quiet mind and you are quite advanced. Then you will be able to see how this arises, how this becomes a thought, how this becomes a personal, how do you kind of take which is happening, which is impersonal, and make it personal. So all these things you will be able to kind of discern when you are doing the meditation. So dependent origination, which is there, is a kind of an integral part of that. And the last step is, and what student is the noble truth of the way leading to the cessation of suffering? It is just this noble eightfold path. That is, as Bhante kind of, I'll read that, which has been translated by Bhikkhu Bodhi. And as Bhante says is harmonious perspective. Harmonious perspective, then harmonious imaging. Harmonious perspective is what perspective you are seeing the world. Are you seeing this world through the perspective of the Four Noble Truth, of the perspective of having a smiling and happy kind of disposition? Then you keep an image in your mind. That is image of a happy person, or a person who kind of follows the precepts, or a person who is kind of following the noble kind of Four Noble Truths. That is the imaging which you get. When you are having this imaging, then you have your communication, how you are communicating with others and with ourselves. So by smiling, you are communicating a positive aspect to others, and you are kind of having a lighter mind by smiling. So then that is the communication, harmonious communication. With harmonious communication comes harmonious movement. What is the harmonious movement? Movement of the mind. How the mind is moving, you are able to kind of discern that, and how your actions are there. Those are harmonious. Your action is of smiling, your action is of metta, and your action is of being kind of happy all the time. So that is your harmonious movement. When there is harmonious movement, then there is harmonious lifestyle. So you live a life which is wholesome. And when you have a harmonious lifestyle, you have harmonious practice, which is the 6R. You will be able to incorporate the 6R in your daily life. When you have harmonious practice, you will have harmonious observation. Observation of the mind's movement, how the mind's movement is going from one thing to another. When you have harmonious observation, then harmonious collectedness. Then your mind comes and can stay on an object. So when you are doing anything, that your mind can stay with that thing. You can stay with your object of meditation also. You can stay with your work. If you're reading, you can stay with your reading. So your collectedness, which is called samadhi, which has a different meaning in a kind of Indian. That is also because of the concept. Samadhi is also a concept. It's a word. If it's a word, it has a concept. So the Indian philosophy has a different concept for samadhi. But when we talk of samadhi from the concept of the Buddha. That is to collect your mind attention to a object or a kind of task or a object of meditation. So that is the collectedness. So that is developed. So these are the the eightfold path. That is translated by Bhikkhu Bodhi as right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. This is called the noble truth of the way leading to the cessation of suffering. One interesting part in one of the suttas is, it is explained in Anguttara Nikaya itself, that if you have right view, then right intention or right thoughts is kind of natural. So if you have a right view of having a smiling kind of mind, and having a light mind, of a mind of metta, then you will have thoughts of all metta and smiling. When you have those things, then what would happen is, when that is there, then whatever you kind of communicate, you can communicate metta. And when we are speaking, we will speak like softly, and you can have a smiling face when you are speaking. When you are doing that, then right actions is possible. When you are doing all your actions, these actions, you will not be doing unwholesome actions. When you are doing right actions, then right livelihood is possible. So automatically, if you are doing right actions, then wrong livelihood is not possible. Then when you are doing that, then right effort which is there, you will be able to do the right effort. When you are doing the right effort, then there is right mindfulness. When there is right mindfulness, there is collectedness, or your mind in samadhi. So this will happen one after another, because when you are starting out with a right kind of view, or the right perspective, or a harmonious perspective, then all the next steps which are there will automatically follow. Because when your perspective is kind of developed, then your imaging will develop. When your imaging is developed, your communication develops. When your communication is developed, your movement will develop. When your movement is developed, your lifestyle is developed. When your lifestyle is developed, then your practice is developed. Harmonious practice is there. Then when harmonious practice is there, harmonious observation is there. When harmonious observation is there, harmonious collectedness is automatically comes into being. So all these things will come one after another. Even if you do not want them to happen, they will happen, because you are taking the right path. You are taking the right approach. That is the reason the right view is heading the Eightfold Path. When it was said, these are the Four Noble Truths, this student is the Dhamma taught by me, that is unrefuted, undefiled, irreproachable, uncensored by the wise ascetics and Brahmins. It is because of this that this was said. So the Buddha kind of gives the overview of his Dhamma. He gives kind of pitfalls of concepts. If you kind of take up those concepts, then there can be pitfalls you can face. So all these things which are there has to be kind of understood, and it will help you kind of do your practice well by knowing that this practice is linked to all the things which are there in the teaching of the Buddha. It incorporates all the teaching of the Buddha when we are doing this practice. One other thing I kind of find, I had a lunch invitation when I was in Mumbai, and somebody said, oh, we have to develop this 37 aspects of awakening. So I said, that is kind of very difficult, you know. How are we going to kind of develop 37 things? It sounds very daunting task for us. But Buddha says that if you have the right view, you will develop the right intention or right thoughts. If you have right thoughts, you will have right speech. So this is developed by having the right view. So you can maybe kind of put your attention on right view, and the Eightfold Path develops on its own. When the Eightfold Path is developed, it develops the 37 aspects, because Eightfold Path is also the in the 37 aspects of awakening. So now the Bhujanga, they say, Sapta Bhujanga, that is also kind of becomes a very daunting task. We have to develop meditation. We have to develop investigation. We have to develop energy. We have to develop piti or joy. And we have to develop tranquility, passaddhi. We have to develop samadhi or collectedness. We have to develop equanimity. How can we develop all four? What should we develop first? What should we develop second? But Buddha says that in the Samyutta Nikaya, Buddha says that if you are developing mindfulness, then the investigation factor develops. When you are developing your investigation factor, your energy factor develops. Because when you are there on your object of meditation, you know how your mind's attention is going from here and there. So you are automatically started investigating how your mind's attention is going from one thing to another. So that your investigation, when you are investigating, you know the energy. Sometimes you are have over energy, so you are restless. So you relax, and then you becomes you kind of take away energy from that. Sometimes you're dull and sleepy. You put in interest more, you put in energy more, and you kind of put in the energy because you have low energy. That is the reason you are getting sleepy. So you automatically know about that. When you are in balance of energy, what happens is joy arises automatically. When joy is there, your body is automatically tranquil. When your body is tranquil, you would be collected. So your mind is there on your object. If you are happy, you are very comfortable in the body, then it is natural that you can stay on the object of meditation. When you are staying on your object of meditation, equanimity automatically arises. So some kind of students are surprised that you have not told me about any of these things, but this has happened to me. So that this happens because it is there in you, everybody. It is not an external things which are going to come, and it is not a concept which if we give those concepts, that will arise in you. Certain times it may be kind of misunderstood in that way also. But students come to me and say, I did not know this step. You did not talk about this step, but I am feeling equanimity or I am feeling joy now. I don't know what has happened. So this is because if the causes and conditions are right, you will progress automatically. And that is the reason you do not feel that this task is very daunting. You can do your meditation, and every aspect which is there in the 37 aspects will automatically develop. Because you are taking the right path, then the next door will also open. The Buddha says, like a chicken sits on an egg and does not have even a thought that the egg should hatch or the chicks should come out from the hatched eggs. But the eggs will hatch and the chicks will come out from the hatched eggs because she is doing the action of sitting on the eggs regularly. So that is how even a meditator who is doing the meditation, if he does the meditation regularly, then he will develop surely. There is this is nothing external which is there. It is based on your own observation. You will know that there is progress which is happening. So this is the end of the sutta. So we will be open for question and answers. So is there any questions?
Hello, Bhante.
Hello.
Bhante. Just I want to have some.
I am not able to hear you.
Now, could you able to hear, Bhante?
Can somebody else speak? Is it my problem? I'll check. Can you speak something?
Now, Bhante, can you able to hear?
I can hear him.
So I think it is my problem. I think the mic may be the issue. So I'll just try and remove the mic and see if that helps. Yes.
Now, can you able to hear, Bhante?
Yes. Yeah, I can hear. Yes.
Just one first sentence, out of the three things which Sutta referring. First thing is that the present condition is because of the past actions. Everything which happens presently is due to past. Yes. But it is partly correct, no, Bhante? Partly correct. Yes. It is partly correct. Okay. So there are certain things which happens and certain things which does not. So that is the thing. Like in Alcoholic Anonymous, they say there is a prayer. I'll kind of paraphrase that. It is that let me know the things I can change and the things I cannot change, and the wisdom to know what is I can change and what I cannot change. So then you know that when the things which you cannot change, you don't fight with that. That is the definition of dukkha. There is a truth and you are fighting with the truth. That is, you are creating dukkha. And you can change certain things. Then you know this change can be changed, then you change. That you use in the volition. That is 6 hours. When the thought comes, you know that I don't have to be a slave to my thoughts. You recognize, release, relax, re-smile and return back. So that is the aspect you can change. So that you have to understand. Right, Bhante. Thank you, Bhante. Okay, there is another question. Okay.
Bhante, I wanted to ask you one question.
Okay.
It appears there are 6 bases of contact, and these are 18 mental examinations. What are
Correct.
those 18 mental examinations?
So for each base of contact, you know that this is creating joy, or this is creating kind of dejection or pain, and this is neutral or equanimous. So then 6 into 3 is 18.
Thank you.
And I've given the link of the sutta. I'll give once again, because the late comers will not get that link. So I'll give that link once again. So you can use that link and see the sutta. So the sutta is kind of from Book of 3. So I thought it would be a smaller sutta, but it is a significant kind of long sutta, and it is giving a lot of information. I was really happy to read that, and it has very kind of a rich understanding. It kind of enhances our understanding, from seeing from different perspectives.
The crux of entire jhana is here.
Yeah, so that is giving the foundation.
That is 3 aspects what we quote.
Yes.
That is 4 noble truths, next 8-fold path, and the 3 characteristics of existence.
Correct.
All the 3 are mentioned in one shot.
Yes, and the dependent origination. So
that is 4 noble truths, of course.
So a lot of rich information.
Yes.
So any other questions?
Yeah, Bante, I have question.
Yes. You can ask
So
them.
Bante, I have several questions. The first one is for walking meditation, is forgiveness meditation is the only object for walking meditation, or I can use metta as a walking meditation object?
No, if you are doing forgiveness, Bante says that when you are walking, you use each step, like I forgive you.
I forgive you, you forgive
me. In
me.
that way you walk, and in that continue with your forgiveness. One other thing about forgiveness meditation is that you forgive everything which is there. So any inconvenience you face in the day, like you get a lot of distractions, then you forgive the distractions. Don't fight with the distractions. Just forgive and just be with your forgiveness. Then come back to forgiving yourself or your whatever person has come up. So keep on forgiving everything. So if you have inconveniences, there is too much heat is there, too much this cold is there, there is too much noise is there, anything which bothers you, just forgive them. Keep a mind of forgiveness going on.
No scope of loving kindness.
And there is like this is a part of loving kindness actually.
When we are doing forgiveness, we will not go for loving kindness. It should not be.
You don't mix. Don't mix.
That is more important.
Yeah, that is correct. Yes.
So Bante, because right now I'm doing the full-time retreat, so there's a session for walking meditation, and in this case I'm done with the forgiveness meditation. So
correct.
Can I use metta for walking meditation, or
yes. So when you're not doing, you're coming back to this metta meditation, when you're walking, then keep your spiritual friend with you, or imagine your spiritual friend is going walking besides you, and keep giving the metta to your spiritual friend. If you're going into directions, then just send in directions when walking.
Okay. That's my That's my next question as well. So for my sitting meditation, I'm done with the spiritual friends, and after that I go further to the 6 directions, and after that I felt like joy, and the joy is faded, and after that I felt like nothing, like I felt like
you're in equanimity. Very good.
So should I 6R, or should
no. That is
continue
the
nothingness?
The joy going is a kind of a good thing, because you are coming into equanimity. So when you are coming into equanimity, just stay with the equanimity, and just
also no need to
radiate the equanimity. Sometimes what will happen is you are not. No. This is a good thing. The joy fading away is a good thing, because then there is a balance. That balance which is there is equanimity. You keep with that balance. That's a good thing. You have progressed in because over here we go from metta to karuna to mudita. Mudita is the joy. And then upekha, that is equanimity. So you have gone to the next step.
Okay, so I just like retain that equanimity instead of
equanimity.
6R yet.
Yes. So now what may happen is that when you are radiating this equanimity, you may have a point that your mind will come and stay over here itself. It will not radiate. It will kind of be still. That time that is called quiet mind. So you will get further instructions for that quiet mind also.
Okay, yeah, and I'm surprised actually. I feel that my body like a very light. I'm surprised with the experience. Like at the first, it's really hard to it's really hard for me. Like, oh my God, I feel like something wrong with my body posture. But once it kept going, I feel like it's very light. I feel grounded here. I feel like yeah. But I did 6R and I feel like what should I do next? Because I don't have like interview at this point, so that's why I come here and ask you.
Okay, so see,
Okay.
when you are kind of radiating kind of equanimity, at one point of time you feel that you are not able to radiate, then you come to the quiet mind. It is like sitting in a quiet room and seeing. Say if I sit like this and just look at the horizon, and then you can 6R everything. You may get a light, dots of light, you may get colors, you may get kind of shapes, you may get kind of stringy things, kind of thing you can see. All those things which you come, you just relax. So now this thing which this will happen together, that is recognize, release, and relax will happen together. When you recognize, it feels like you are relaxing and letting it go. And the smile will come back to the space. So you will be feeling one of the things we have minor hindrances, like I am bored, nothing is happening, I am not even able to 6R. So all these kind of things are that feeling you have to 6R those things. You feel I'm bored, then you 6R that. Oh, there is nothing over here. I'm getting I don't even have to 6R over here. So all this feeling you have to 6R, but stay there still and let everything go. Don't take interest in anything. So now your object of meditation is just the quiet mind. That is the next stage which will come. Now, when you are feeling the equanimity, joy fades away and equanimity is there, then just radiate equanimity. When walking, you will have to be in equanimity. You cannot be in quiet mind while walking. Okay? So when you are walking, you just, whatever your equanimity you are feeling, just share it with the whole, whatever is there, if there are plants, trees or something like that, and then let it go into directions, all directions. Just keep walking with that equanimity mind.
Okay, what was happening with me last time? Like last night actually. There's something on my eyelid and then on my ear. Like I don't know what is happening, but I 6R that one. It's correct, right? The ears, yeah, like there's like a noise, but I don't know. But I'm using the earphone, but it's not mosquito, of course. So I 6R that one. It's correct, right?
Correct. Yes, that's correct. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Bhante.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, tell me.
The first one, sectarian 3 tenets of the something you mentioned, and they have not appeared in the sutta. And what is that actually 3 tenets? Sorry for asking you.
These 3 tenets are just the 3 concepts. I mentioned it as concepts or philosophies. So these are one is everything is happening because of the past actions.
Okay.
First. Second is everything is happening because of some God or some external entity.
Second.
And the third is there is no cause and effect.
No cause and effect.
No cause and effect. Those are the 3 concepts.
They are our tenets of our Hinduism.
So certain religions, certain philosophies, certain ways of thinking kind of adopt one of those kind of aspects. And kind of that leads to your mind getting into other things.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, Bhante.
Yes,
Bhante. So when I am at the quiet mind state, and then there's a boredom arises. So I have to come back to the quiet mind, or
Yeah, you have to
come back to
siksar
the
and come
object.
back to the come to the quiet mind. Just come to the quiet mind.
Okay.
You will recognize the quiet mind because that is a very still place and you are not able to radiate, and then you just stay still. Like staying in a movie theater and you are just watching the everything is dark. You're just watching the screen, which is also dark. Or it may be light. Somebody may perceive it as a white screen. Somebody may perceive it as black screen. But whatever comes up on the screen, you let it go. See, one way of explaining it is that something happens over here, okay? And you siksar. Then you watch what happens over here. Before this happened, this happened. This happened, then this happened. So now when you are able to siksar over here, now you will be able to siksar over here. Let it go over here. Then you know, oh, this happened and this happened and this happened. So you are able to siksar over here. So now you will know what happened before this, what happened before that. So there is a lot to see, a lot to investigate in this quiet mind. It feels very boring, but there is a lot to learn from here in the quiet mind.
Okay, last question, Bante. So I'm taking the 8th precept right now. And actually, can I drink coffee afternoon?
Yeah, coffee, tea is included in the this thing. There are certain things which are included for evening. Like for the monks, technically it is oil is included, ghee is included, then honey is included, molasses is there, that is included. Then you can have tea, coffee, juice you can have, fruit juices, strained fruit juices, strained soup you can have, the clear soup as that, clear soups you can have. So those are the things you can have. There are certain things monks have is dark chocolate also they have, like without dairy, and their high percentage is there. They can have sugar in it. Sugar is allowed. So you can have tea,
so coffee with creamer also can. Coffee with creamer or not allowed?
Take it creamer, you can have a non-dairy creamer. Normally the monks have non-dairy creamer. And you can have juice. Juice is kind of sustaining. But the juice has to be strained juice. The box juice which you come, they are more kind of preferred. Or if there is a juice you make at home, you have to strain it through a strainer.
Okay, thank you, Bante.
Okay.
It's clear.
Anything else? If there's no question, then we can end it out here. Okay. Okay, then we'll share the merits. May suffering ones be suffering free, and the fear-struck fearless being. May the grieving shed all grief, and may all beings find relief. May all beings share this merit that we have thus acquired for the acquisition of all kinds of happiness. May beings inhabiting space and earth, devas and nagas of mighty power, share this merits of ours. May they long protect the Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu. Okay then.
Thank you, Bante.